Banks love you because they can sell you payday loans, they can sell you credit cards, they can sell you lines of credit, and they can keep you in debt for the rest of your life, which means you keep making the bank rich. The government loves you. Employees pay the highest taxes. And so when you're in that situation, you are making everybody else rich at your expense. If you want to break out of this, you need to make yourself rich before you make everybody else rich. If you are in what I call the financial danger zone, which is you don't have $2,000 saved up for an emergency, and you have credit card debt, and you have to make drastic changes. That means right now, no more eating at restaurants, no more vacations, no more doing anything that doesn't put money in your pocket, and no more Netflix. And the reason why I say this isn't because you're gonna save $15 a month. It's so you can save 2 hours of your time a day. You have to go out and start using the time to learn, start using the time to work, and start using the time to make some extra dollars.
Hello and welcome back to Can We Talk, where I politely tear apart reality one truth at a time. I am the original Sl8very, and today we're going to dive into something that sounds like a Black Mirror plot twist, but it's actually real life. We are talking about soft slavery, and it's not the whips and chains kind of slavery. It's the kind that smiles and hands you a credit card and says, go and chase your dreams, but don't forget your interest payments. Yep, and just a heads up, if you think you're totally free because you can choose between 46 different types of oat milk at your local store, you might want to stick around for this one. So, soft slavery is a term used to describe modern systems of control that don't really rely on physical force, but instead use economic, psychological, and cultural mechanisms to keep people bound and compliant. It's very subtle and it's dressed up as an opportunity. It's the velvet handcuffs of our times. And instead of chains, we have credit scores. Instead of plantation owners, we have multinational corporations, financial institutions, and data brokers. And instead of outright commands, we have algorithmic nudges, social pressures that shape our decisions without us even realizing it. As you can see, I've created a breakdown of the key soft slavery mechanisms in today's world. But today I will, however, only be focusing on economic entrapment as it relates to soft slavery. With that said, let's take a look at a couple of TikTok videos to illustrate this concept.
I have been financially not doing great. I am a nurse. Even though I am a nurse and I make good money, I don't have money, which is the sad part because of the choices that I've made still currently and the choices that I've made like previously, like from a couple of years. I am in credit card debt, and it's this unhealthy cycle that I have been putting myself into, and this just relationship with money has just never been something that I was talked about. Lifestyle creep is definitely a thing, and especially when you are trying to make a brand for yourself, when you're aspiring to do something that you want to do, and content creation has been something that I've always wanted to do. Being a YouTuber has always been something I want to do. I've always just wanted to be on camera. I've always just wanted to make a name for myself, whether it be like through content creation, being a YouTuber, being an entrepreneur, like whatever it may be. I always felt like I was meant to do something other than nursing. And so I think for years I have been continuously like, going with the trends and like, buying whatever everyone else buys so that like I can post about it and like, be seen. But then I get caught up with imposter syndrome of not being enough. In order for me to become someone, I guess I was influenced by everyone else around me. So if I bought the next best thing, or if I looked a certain way by buying these clothes, then I was gonna make an image, a brand for myself. And that turned into so many dumb purchases along the way that I'm literally paying for now. And don't get me wrong, I have been trying to get myself together when it comes to my finances, because obviously I have money to pay my bills, I have money to pay down the minimums on my credit cards, but a lot of the times I don't take into account money for myself and money to, just enjoy life. And most of the time I'm struggling to even do that. So I think I've reached my breaking point. Enough is enough. Living paycheck to paycheck, living with the credit card debt and the afterpays and everything, I'm done. I'm so done. I want to be financially free. I don't want to have to worry about if I'm gonna be able to eat. I just don't want to be in this cycle anymore, because it's I want to travel, I want to buy a house, I want to get married, all of these things. It's just it's not possible until I take this step of paying off my debt. And not just paying off my debt, but being financially literate and just understanding you can't always have your wants. You have to prioritize your needs. And sometimes I rationalize my needs, my wants, to make them seem like they're needs. And I just need to get out of this toxic mindset. It sucks. And I'm not making this an excuse, but I guess impulsivity and shopping addiction is part of ADHD. And sometimes I hate it. Sometimes I get mad at myself for having this ADHD and is the reason why I'm in this situation. But at the same time, it's I need to remember, what can I do now to just get myself out of this hole. So the reason I'm crying on the internet is to show people that seriously, do not I understand that I'm trying to be an influencer, I'm trying to be a content creator, and that goes with promoting products, but literally live within your means and only buy if you have the money for it. Stop planning, stop affirming, stop afterpaying, stop just swiping the credit card, because yeah, it may be fun in the moment, but literally you will regret it if that stuff just racks up, and it's years down the line and you're still paying for that purse that you bought 4 years ago. Life is too freaking short for us to be paying money on stuff that we bought a couple years ago. Life is too short for us to be paying for materialistic things. Instead, we should be paying for experiences, for adventures and whatever it may be, for new life chapters. And I don't know, buying the next best thing is not worth your mental health. Buying the next best thing is not worth the emotional and financial burden that you're going to experience if you can't pay it off right away. If you're watching this and you are also in the same boat, you are not alone. This stuff is hard to navigate, and not a lot of people talk about the realness about being in credit card debt, or even student loans. I don't even want to think about the student loans that I have, and my car loan. That's another thing in itself. But if you're watching this all the way through, the one thing that I can say is that if you're going into 2025 with debt, specifically credit card debt, please make a plan to get out of it, because I know I am, because I can't do it anymore. It's not cute anymore to just put it on the credit card, or I'll do some installment payments. It's not cute anymore. you're going to continue these habits, and it's going to take you so much longer to, one, pay for it, but two, unlearn those habits of impulse spending.
The way I accumulated so much debt during unemployment that I did not have previously. I started my unemployment period in like July of 2022, and it was like pretty steady until December of 2023. I had a couple jobs here and there. I was doing gig work, but like nothing really stuck. And I never had enough to pay my fixed expenses that whole time. I lived off of savings. I drained my Roth IRA. I drained my 401k. I took out a personal loan. I put probably $15,000 on credit cards because I didn't have enough fucking money to live. And I'm not someone who's buying shit, like just my fixed expenses I was not able to provide for. Like sometimes I'll treat myself to a $2 icy once a week. Like that's the level of frugal I've been. Maybe the occasional bubble tea. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. But it's not enough to accumulate like $25,000 of extra debt I didn't have. No one really talks about the debt cycle of unemployment or of getting laid off. Wherein once your savings are done, you're fucked. Like you just have to accumulate debt or you literally will get evicted. I'm so sorry that's your position, friend.
22 years old and I have about $100,000 worth of debt to my name. About $52,000 is towards my car loan, while $24,000 is towards my credit cards, and about $8,000 is towards my student loan. Regarding my credit card debt, I chose debt settlement, so my balance used to be like $40,000 and they took away all interest charges, and now it's only like $24,000. So I am actively trying to avoid bankruptcy right now. I don't want to file for bankruptcy at 22 years old. I know a lot of people are advising me to do this, but I just don't think that's smart if I can actually pay it off. Debt settlement was the best option for me for several reasons. One being it's more private. It isn't on your record the way bankruptcy is. Debt settlement does negatively affect your credit score, but it is usually less severe, and the time span of it affecting your score is much shorter than bankruptcy. Debt settlement can also reduce the amount you owe, while with bankruptcy you might have to give up some of your assets like your car and like your jewelry. I think that if you have a larger debt balance than I do, then yeah, bankruptcy might be the right route for you, but in my case I am able to afford my debt settlement payments. I also feel like with the debt settlement route you are open to future business loans or future car loans, while with a bankruptcy on your report you're very unlikely to be open to those things.
Consumer debt is just another way that the system keeps us under control. Think about it. The more debt you have, the more monthly bills that you have to pay, the less likely you are to quit a job you hate or to work less in order to pursue things that actually add value to your life. So this is why my wife and I are now officially down to one vehicle. We went and sold one of our cars to the dealership today, took a little bit of a hit on it, but in the long run, it's going to save us a tremendous amount of money. And with that $500 a month, that's less I have to worry about working, less my wife has to worry about working, and the more that we can spend our time and money on creating experiences and memories, because at the end of the day, that's what truly matters to us. So if you're out there and you're trading your time for money and you hate it, there are ways to reduce your financial liability in order to have that time back. So don't be a slave to the system. Don't live in debt. If you possibly can, get rid of that shit, unload it, and create more.
Well, after all that has been said, I think that debt is definitely a legalized trap. Whether it's national debt, student loans, credit cards, payday lenders, you name it. Debt is one of the most efficient ways to enslave a population without a single bullet being fired. And here's the truth. Soft slavery is so real. It's coded in your monthly payments, baked into your social feeds, stitched into the freedom you were promised but can't quite afford. But just because the chains are invisible doesn't mean they can't be broken. We have to name the systems, question the cycles, reclaim our power, one conscious choice at a time. That starts with information, with awareness, with refusing to laugh off the systems that laugh at our pain. And yes, we need to imagine something different, because freedom shouldn't feel like a subscription you can't cancel. It just feels so wrong. So my beautiful sunbeams, this has been Can We Talk? I am the original Sunshine Bay, reminding you just because you can swipe your card doesn't mean you're free. So breathe deep, stay awake, keep asking the questions they'd rather you didn't. And if you found this valuable, hit the like button, share it with someone who needs it, and don't forget to subscribe. But for now, stay aware, stay unchained, and stay questioning, because the first step to freedom is knowing that you're in debt. Goodbye, everyone.